And welcome back to today's final live stream, or final games rather. Here at the pool play in the open division will be between both Singaporean teams this night's in Gaja. Welcome to the Asia Oceanic Ultimate Championships live from Kamisu. My name is Jonathan Santos and I'm joined with Avril Tam.
Absolutely. Pleasure to be here with you, John. It's been an interesting day. Plenty of rain, all the players getting nice and wet. Also complemented by a lightning delay in the previous game, so very short turnaround for the teams. But very pleased to finish off today on a high. As you said, an intercity matchup between the Disc Knights, a well-established Singapore club, and Gaja, who I don't believe are an established club. I'm guessing there must be a leadership team who put together this campaign.
Correct.
But certainly Gaja have come into this matchup 1-1 Disc Knights with a 0-2 record. So, ooh, and that is way too quick and zippy despite a huge slide there from the Disc Knight player. Early opportunity for Gaja to get up a break.
We'll see. The first time to see Gaja in the live stream. Disc Knights was here earlier today, losing a tough battle against Hot Chili. So we'll see if they can recover and get their first win as well in Gaja. Trying to establish their second seed at least as the highest, as they lost to Rascals earlier today.
Yeah, and interestingly, I noticed that Gaja, their stats leader is actually Jara Liu, who is actually based in Melbourne. My guess is a Singapore Australian here, who's had 6 assists and 3 goals.
And here we go, moving quickly. Gaja gets a quick dump. Little bit of I'd say the stack has spread really wide horizontally here. And here, swing is down the middle, Gaja does. Goes to the other side. A little bit of a poach man defense being set by Disc Knights, just between the handlers. And so far, Gaja having trouble moving forward with the disc, and just what I said, that able to get some yardage with that great forehand. And there we go, right at the middle of the field. Gaja does good upline cut, will be secured, hand blocked and all. First score for Gaja in this game.
Break to open their account. I really like how calm their offense was. Just happy to swing it around, trust their cutters to get open, make sure they threw a 100% option. I don't really think any of those possessions looked in doubt, so very smooth run for Gaja to start off this game.
And that was number 94, Justin Kong, with the first point for Gaja. See how they can capitalize. And that early break opportunity converted. And I can see one of the stalwarts of Singapore Ultimate, Sam E, is actually part of this lineup. A veteran player in the Singaporean, Singaporean teams for that matter. So it's glad to see his veteran presence here, leading this young crew.
I tried to find out what Gaja means. As we know, Singlish, a real melting pot of different languages, but didn't come up with any answers to that one. So if anyone on the stream knows what the meaning behind Gaja is, please do enlighten us. Plenty of action today until Sunday. Make sure you stay tuned on the World Flying Disc Federation YouTube channel.
And here we are, Disc Knights has an opportunity to get their first point. Cutters are just way back for Disc Knights, not giving any opportunity to give handlers some options. They're stuck there, as you said, quickly. Hawk, couple of players there. Who's going to win it? And it will be 1 against 2 of the Gaja defensive players. Another break opportunity at their hand.
Very nice defensive effort. That was, I think it was Justin Kong there getting up high. And, work rate. Having 2 players under the disc, a 2v1, you're always going to come out on top.
Getting back here, quick movements down the middle, halfway field now for Gaja. This is Sam. Sam sends it through to the end zone. Bang!
Fantastic reception there by Jerome Tan. as you said, Sam E putting it out on a dime there. Perfectly weighted huck. No defender in sight. In the end, Jerome Tan made it look very easy for that reception. And Gaja there, 2 breaks straight to start off this game.
Sam E, number 49. And at that, leading this young team at the age of 39 years old, representing the oldies like myself here in the booth. So great to see. Excellent huck from him in recognition to see his teammate wide open.
Yeah, son, go get it. Felt like a bit of a senior moment there. Expert play by the veteran.
Expert play as well. And it looks like Gaja is capitalizing early break opportunities, second in a row at sea. And this is the problem with this Knights earlier in the game, where unable to really just have a clean flow of their offense and see how they can turn around the momentum.
Nice high floaty pull that gives a good opportunity for the pool chasers getting in position quickly or definitely putting pressure on that first pass.
And there we go. This Knights thought it was going to be a turnover at that, but great presence of mind to keep it alive. Here we go. Oh, just a great pass just above the defender, and they send it deep for a score. This Knights celebrate.
Fantastic play there by Dis Knights. That's the offense that we want to see, right? That smooth moving. You know, the disc was released very quickly. I don't think the stall got to even 2 or 3, and they looked for that next option. The timing of those continuation cuts were really on song there, and definitely want to see more of that powerful offense for Dis Knights. Looks like they're finally waking up to get their first score on the board.
That was Noor Hakim bin Tahar to Muddin Yassin bin Muchin Dahalan for the score. And Tahar, actually, in that first game they were on the stream, was one of the very steady handlers for Dis Knights, and it's showing here again. Just want to see them continuously have these opportunities of a clean offense for them to get any momentum out of it. And here we go, the pull. It looks like it's going to sail out of bounds. And we'll start at the brick mark. Lovely to see Sam E visit the booth here and give a hi. It's good to see old friends in these type of tournaments, you know. As we say that, quick hawk deep here. Couple of players from Dis Knights and just one from Gaja, but he's able to get it up.
1 on 3. My goodness, Bin Muhammad Salim gets up high on top of the tripod there. Incredible play.
Amazing presence of mind and athletic ability to go against 3 players. 3 players, what? Is what he asked. Sheesh. As we look at the replay here.
That was an absolute trust throw. Look at that flick, huck, the distance and the float. And you see the players come into vision. Not quite on the close-up there, but hopefully we can get a wide shot back on screen.
He thought about spiking the disc, but decided otherwise.
Put him on a poster, boy. Goodness me. Salim there. What a play. And it has to be said, it does look like Gaja have a little bit more height on their team overall, hey, John?
It does look like it as well. And I think something that Dis Knights need to consider, right? I'd want them to maybe look at forcing Gaja in instead, if that's the case. As we look here, fakes that backhand hawk. Dis Knights holsters that pass, and I think this is number 1 now.
So sticking with the match defense, Disc Knights. Sorry, Gaja. And making lots of space for the handler weave.
They're making quick movements so far. Already past the halfway mark. And this is Ong. Ong looking downfield. Really wants to send it there, but opts to swing it back to his partner, Lee, to his teammate. on the open side. Quick backhand pass on the open side. Now looking.
There's not much room on that small channel. They have to get it off this sideline.
And there's some contact there between Lee and the Gaja player. And it looks like it's going to stay with Ko. Ko, hammer throw. It's up against two players. And looks like, is he in? It doesn't look like he was. Would have been a good comeback against earlier from Gaja, but just too far out.
Yeah, great effort by Justin Lowe there. He had two defenders on his heels and really was a meat in the sandwich. But in the end, meeting the line instead and out of bounds.
See, look there from that vicious hammer throw. Just look, I'm unable to look at it on the replay, but just way far out. And Gaja, another chance for a break. Oh, and quickly sends it deep now. Who's going to win it? And just goes out of bounds and looks like
this just takes a sharp turn at the very end of the play. I think they thought it was going to go forward and then just dive straight into the ground. So very difficult opportunity there. But it does mean Disc Knights get another opportunity to try and convert this hold.
And here we go. Low pass, but diving catch just not enough. And Sam E quickly picks it up for Gaja. And here's number 37 looking. Give it back to Sam. Dumps it back to 70. Now it's with number 37. Now Ong. Ong trap on that sideline. He's got to make a move. Sam E with a veteran upline move. But it looks like
not sure what
a couple of things are happening simultaneously. Yeah. One in the stack and with Sam.
It actually looks like Sam had position and was going to catch it and then decided not to. Yeah, okay. It looks like there's some foul and contact and that's why he kind of, I guess, pulled out of that bid. This is when, no, I'm calling the foul. So the two teams just having a chat now.
And looks like it's going to be going back.
So contested call, it looks like, because the disc is going back to the thrower. So Sam E will get to reset things from the dump space again.
Go back with Ong, I believe. Ong is on that side trap and can be sent over to Rajendran. To E.
Rajendran in the dump space. They're getting forced backwards. I think Disc Knights are doing a pretty good job, but now the domination movement.
Ooh, amazing, sky grab there to keep that disc alive. And E threading it right down the middle and gets it to go. 4th point for Gaja. Beautiful display of throws there.
Absolutely. And Sam E, what a pro. That was a beautiful inside backhand break. And then the continuation for the score. I think, often you see that flick inside because it's much faster to get a flick off. The backhand, you kind of got to set your wrist back and then go forward. So it's often a slower throw, but Sam E made that look as quick as lightning.
And it won't show in the stats, but I would say that's a hockey assist because he initiated that pass, be able to thread it between those players. And
that pre-assist, right?
Correct.
So beautiful work by Gaja now. The 3 breaks up and 4-1. Oh, as we see that beautiful throw. And then the quick flip to score. So Gaja certainly making use of the conditions here. Not much wind and not much rain at the moment. Just the wet grass.
And the hook or the pull is off. It will be beautifully put just right at the edge of their attacking end zone. Enough time for Gaja to set up shop for defense. And here's Disc Knights. Great upline cut here for number 6.
And you can see they're really protecting this around 4. So forcing Disc Knights to really squeeze it through this channel. All of the passes have just been to this close side. They're going to run out of room. And they do. That is a bid and a D for Gaja.
Amazing block and layout there. Successful at that. And Gaja, just when you thought Disc Knights was going to get a score there, Gaja saying otherwise. Swing there by Ang. Moving to the other side quickly, Gaja does. And looks like this night setting up a zone defense in return. Oh, thought about that Hawk, but it softly puts it to his teammates here. And this 33.
Yeah, the zone not quite containing as well as we'd liked. Now they finally get to grips, forcing Gaja to throw side to side at the moment with the arrowhead look, but the double team here blocking any efforts of a forward pass. Gaja happy to play small ball, working with their throws and with their legs.
And that's just great timing between the cutters and handlers. As you saw, once they moved the other side, the poppers was just right there. And just this is just clinical movement against a zone defense. Gaja's just showcasing to us.
For sure. This zone O, like you said, the downfield cutters connecting well with the handlers, but also the handlers working back to forward as well with that upline cutting, small ball movement. They're looking so in control and so comfortable as it stands.
Just moving side to side comfortably. This is Ang with the disc looking. And sends it over to Lee.
Disc Knights opting to stay with the zone. This is very much a danger zone, and Gaja do well. Yet another break, 2 on the trot to make it 5-1.
Great display of zone offense by Gaja. Just really clinical, just moving side to side. And great chemistry between the cutters and the handlers there.
Yeah, I mean, they never looked out of control, right? They were always just so composed. Although, you know what? I think it's actually a wise move for Disc Knights. Sure, they didn't actually force any turns or any opportunities there, but, you know, try to slow the game down. Like, Gaja have scored some very, very quick points in this game already against the match defense. So I think we're also pretty brave, right? Because Disc Knights started on offense, and to set a zone defense after turning over disc is pretty difficult. So very impressive. I mean, looking at the scores for Gaja, 1 minute 35, 1 minute 35, 3 minutes 10, 2 10, 20, 2 15. So the efficiency with the points to Gaja, at least this one, it took them 5 minutes to score versus 2 or 3.
Exactly. I mean, using efficient time. And with the disc and hand really, and maybe a good reason why they have a good record now in this tournament so far. But again, still early, even though it's a 4-point deficit, still in the first half, so still anything can happen. And it looks like an offside is being called.
Yeah, offside meaning that the team on offense can take the disc to the brick mark and start from there. So gaining a few meters for free.
And this will be Lee on the disc, I believe. And here Gaja showcasing their own zone defense as well.
Oh, I think that was a tip on that disc.
But still a cheeky throw to send it over the other side by Disc Knights.
So Gaja with a zone of their own now.
Ong, pushes it there right in the middle towards his teammate, Lee.
So they're quite happy to allow Disc Knights to pass it backwards. And you see the kind of 4 in that front wall moving together nicely. So they're blocking any of that kind of middle space, forcing Disc Knights to throw out wide.
Good defense there on the dump side, forcing, Lim to just swing it to the other side. He gets it back. But this will go well for Gaja, just giving little options for Disc Knights, except for the handler movements. And again, if but just what I said, great to punch it through that cup for Ong, and he gets it back successfully.
Yeah, Disc Knights have got to remain patient. Oh, that's a nice one. That little fake around, but then steps on the inside with a quick release, but no continuation to take advantage.
It's just like they're doing like 1 step forward and 2 steps back in terms of being able to get some momentum, but they're forced to swing it back. But just as you said that, some little movement here now. I'm not sure. I think they switched to match person defense now for Gaja.
Yeah, definitely switched to a match now, but the players all very far away. That's a nice away leading pass there.
Nice pass there, and looks like they have a chance to get their second score. Trap on that sideline, a forehand. Hawk is complete. Gets it to go. Sim brings it down for their second score.
And Disc Knights, that was only their second point of the game. And that was a clean hold to boot. So finding that patience. And, you know, I feel like that dump set was very disciplined. Like, you had the person in the dump space go up line. If that was covered, then you had the fill come from the front of stack. This time around, both of those options were covered, and I think maybe it was a little bit predictable for Gaja's defenders. In the end, having to take a slightly higher risk shot over the top of the stack to the break side. Like, it was a beautiful execution here on the throw, but I think Gaja defense will be very happy with that. Look, you see the around mark there.
Correct, yep.
Yep, by Manaharan, who really was protecting that no around, which meant that, you know, around fill option was completely covered.
Yeah, it felt like the stall count was also rising there as he had no choice to do a forehand bladey hawk towards the end zone. But Sean Shilong Sim able to bring it down. That passes from Lee. So 2-5 now for Disc Knights. Some life coming out from the Disc Knights here.
Yep.
Looks like they're going to start at the brick mark for Gaja. This will be slowly walked down by Brandon Nung.
Braden here, one of the captains for this Gaja team. 26-year-old offensive cutter, this time tasked with picking up the disc.
Quick dump here, moves it quickly to the middle and back to him as well. Gaja making quick work now. This is number 24, Nung. Nung looking. Really wants to force the issue and able to get that pass forward. Quickly passes it to Salim. Salim. Passes to Manoharan and he gets it back. Salim does. Salim fakes that. Looking for his teammate here, Rachivajar.
So Gaja really using their small ball to advantage. Oh, that's a beautiful break around, but there is a call.
Looks like some collision in the middle of that stack. And you see that Gaja recognized it, and that's the reason why that disc wasn't caught at all, because they stopped.
Yeah, and you'd have to say that call affected play because everyone stopped.
Exactly.
I do want to highlight that Disc Knights have done a good job here. Their match defense looks much more coordinated and has forced Gaja into these small ball, not many gainers, you know.
Correct.
At the beginning of this game, they get the score, you know, Low beats his player to the cone, but before Gaja was just having these smooth, quick offensive points, you know, 2-3 minutes long. Now they are stretching out and forcing them to throw more throws and throw more shots. And sometimes that, you know, accumulated pressure over time can pay dividends later in the game.
Indeed as well. And that's a good showing for Disc Knights defense. See if they can just generate more, make it more tougher for Gaja in the long run as we look at the replay. And that was Salim giving it to Low. And Salim already having an assist and a goal to his name in this game. Okay. So here you are. Disc Knights.
A side stack this time set up, an isolation play.
And that was actually a good move there, because with a side stack and great movement in the middle, as you can see, lots of field to work for this because of that side stack. I'm a fan of that type of that offensive stack.
Yeah, you're dragging all the defenders to one side of the field, putting in a one-on-one matchup. Oh, that's a lovely around break backhand.
Lovely upline cut and pass. And here we go.
Fake the defender out too.
Exactly, and then sends it down the middle. This Knight's moving well here. See if they can capitalize. One hop grab is done for Lee. Lee gives it back to his teammates, Lim.
Again, making really nice use of these around backhands. I like that look, you know, having confidence in the throws.
And Lee punches it in with a pass to his teammates, Fruko. Oh, and look at the celebration and all. Amazing. combination of throw and cuts for Disc Knights.
I think the big point about that that point was those around backhand breaks. Like they had the confidence to break the mark, get the disc around, which means the defenders had to all go back to that side to contain. And that opened up the open side space, right? It was just like a swing and continue off as we see the vision here in the replay. So just before that throw was the around backhand. Now he gets the easy open side flick and continuation. And so, it goes to show when you have the confidence to actually move the disc to the break side, the field really does open up. And a very cute celebration there from the pair of Disc Knights getting in on the action today.
And that was Lee. So far showcasing his handler prowess with already 2 assists in this game already. And even from the previous games as well.
That's 3 clean holds in a row now. So Disc Knights certainly cleaning up their offense now.
And now it's about to generate those turnovers against. But it's going to be a tough task so far, and how Gaja is showcasing their patience.
Yeah, I think Disc Knights are making progress though. Like we said, the first few points, 2-3 minutes, including the line calls and everything like that. So the fact that they're extending those points, I feel like they are making progress on the defense. And hopefully they can just go up and up on this, try to knock down some of this Gaja confidence.
And here's Salim, sends it over to Ung.
And with this zone, they're certainly very loose, They're definitely prioritizing the containment, but a little too loose there, I think.
Exactly. And then again, Gaja just showcasing the patience to just swing it around the side. You can see that from number 24, that just shortly looking at downfield. If there's no options, well, but just when I said that, ang characteristic turnover to pass was just a little too high.
Yeah, so I think actually the Disc Knights did quite well to clog it up and force that kind of high release, high risk option. Didn't really float down too well by Gaja.
And here's someone streaking deep so far. Disc Knights looking to answer back with a hawk. Oh, great combination of height from Salim to deny that play.
So that moment before was actually the very first turnover for Gaja, right? So we talked about making progress. I think that is evidence, right? They've generated the very first opportunity for a break chance. Gave the disc back, but I feel like every single point they are making progress on defense.
Oh, and like that, Gaja sends it down deep. Bang!
Was running out of room there, but I think there's a chat about whether it's in or out. It was close.
And that's the conversation between Ang of Gaja as we look for the replay.
And Lou there with a big flick huck. Oh, I think that looked in.
It does look in.
And
it looks like it's being recognized there. Tiptoe and everything with the balance of a ballet dancer. Gaja with 7 points now.
So, look, really pleased with the development of Disc Knights D. Like I said, every point they're making progress. I really would love to see them get a break opportunity and convert a break before half. I think that will definitely help with their confidence.
And you can notice there, it's not, in the few points to your point from Gaja, it were easy points and scores. Here, even though they scored the point, it was much more difficult now versus in the first period. So yes, progress is what, if you're Disc Knights, you're just looking for progress at this point for now, and then build it up later in the second half.
Yeah, I think, look, it's going to look like an unlikely win from Disc Knights. Never count them out, but I think, progress in the first half, if we can see them put it together in the second, it'd be really nice to, even though you didn't get any wins on the board, really nice to have some really strong showing momentum going into day 3.
And here's Disc Knights now. Match-up defense given by Gaja. Someone was streaking deep.
Again, that handler weave, isolating the 3 players back in a triangle.
And here's sending it now. A couple of players. Who's going to get it? It looks like Disc Knights will get it to go.
Quickest point yet for Disc Knights. That was just, I'd blink and you'd miss it, Like, I think that's the smoothest offensive point they've played so far. There were plenty of bodies under that disc. 2 for Disc Knights, and Gaja managing to get 3 under the disc, but all of them out-red. Very well done. to Disc Knights for scoring a very quick hold.
And
you
I
see
think
here,
that was call.
now long option here. We see them rifle it through. In the end, coming down with the disc was Aloysius Cope and Jing Long Ong there with the assist and a very nice huck to boot.
Aloysius Go, that's his second score in this game. Playing for Thirsty Camels and now with Disc Knights now. Also was part of that AOUC or AOUC team 2 years ago. So love to see some familiar faces for Disc Knights. 4-7.
That's a nice inside-out pull. Defenders are down. And it looks like a match defense here.
For a moment there, I thought they were going to send it there. Slim was streaking deep, but opted to holster it. Gaja does. And here's number 1, Manoharan. Gives it to Salim. Salim.
Has to wait for everyone to get in front of the disc.
Gives it to Chi. Having some troubles here, but number 24,
So it does look like Disc Knights have made a conscious effort to stop the hut and the long options, but it opens up this underspace for the Gaja short ball.
Great movement so far for everything. I'm loving the timings of the cuts by this handler so far. As seen here with Ang.
That's a pick.
It looks like a pick is being called, and it's going to be going back to Ang.
Yeah, I think Disc Knights have done well to cover those long options and force the Gaja players under, force them to throw more throws, play some short game.
And I think that's a conscious effort, as I mentioned. Like, they know, if you've noticed the height difference, so now they're forcing them in really, where they have a little bit of a control now.
Yes.
Here we go. Short ball game is working well for Gaja. Number 24, sends it over to the other side. Looking, he gets it back. does. Salim streaking deep, and he gets it so quick and easy for a second score in this game.
Very nice work by Gaja. Nice and smooth. Not deterred by their big hucking game being taken out. Quite happy to play small ball. Plenty of passes. Again, looking completely untroubled on offense. In fact, such a stingy team. Gaja have only turned it over once in that whole half.
Amazing as we do approach half now. It looks like Gaja taking full control with the waves and all. So we'll be back in a little bit after this exciting match. Stay tuned for second half here between Gaja and Disc Knights live from Kamisu City. This is the Asia Oceanic Ultimate Championships. And we're back after that halftime between This Knights and Gaja. Gaja with a 4-point lead there. And they will start on 0 on the second half. So interesting how This Knights will respond here, partner.
Yeah, very flat mark initially. So again, recognizing the Gaja efficient offense earlier in the game, prioritizing stopping the long game, forcing those small ball throws. Gaja proving up to the task so far. Happy just to swing side to side.
And here we go. Yes, and making up some yardage with those excellent passes. And again, you're just seeing this clinical approach against the zone defense. We're just talking about this in halftime, how they're really experienced against this zone. And here it goes, number 11, She. Sends it over at Ravi Chadar. Gets it back here, sends it back to
Yeah, so you can see the defense of This Knights just clogging that middle space. They are allowing these sideways passes. They do make some meters. But it's certainly, I guess, what we call a more... and the conservative defense actually wins out. The patience runs out. Lapse of concentration. Forcing a throw. It's just about to say it's more of a containment zone, right? So they were standing very much off. It wasn't about getting an outright block or getting an intercept or getting your body. It was just about... we'll let you make the mistake. And
it looks like that was low. That made just a bad read in terms of sailing it out, letting it sail out of bounds. And here's This Knights.
Power position. They couldn't take advantage though. No continuation to speak of.
And it looks like they're set up for a small ball. And there's some contact there, and it will be accepted. A little bit of contact between Arvind and the This Knights player. Oh, cheeky pass there in the middle, swing right there to Tahar. Tahar looking, urging his teammates to make a move. Opts to give a dump to his teammates. Fakes that forehand pass. A little bit momentum here, building for This Knights. But just when I said that, Arvin with the block. A little bit 1-2 between these two players. Looks like all the way to the end zone. And it looks like they will run it down. Between Chi and Arban. Holy moly.
Geez, Arban, what a steal from under the noses of the This Knight players. I was going to say the Disnites had set up that point so well. They had 2 inside flicks in a row, and I guess what I would call a shallow flick. It was almost like a dump or lateral, but with the inside angle. And I thought they were sure to score that goal, but never say never there. Look at this shot. Arvin just reading that one out of the hand. And the Disnites just weren't able to get their bodies between the disc and just running away with the score there. So Arvind with the block and a nice assist.
It looked like a runaway train there, partner. We're just going straight to the last station in Kamisu in that point. Unstoppable 1-2 there.
Looked like they were going all the way to Chiba. End of the line.
End of the line, but just great never say die attitude in that defensive point given by Arvin. Amazing display of attitude despite turning the disc over.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, they started that point on offense. As we said, they've only given up 1 possession in the first half. That was only the second time, but way to turn around, keep their heads high, keep working for that block.
And looks like it's going to sail out a little bit out of bounds, and looks like they won't be starting the brick mat rather than where it went out. Looks like it was above and beyond the brick mark. That's why deciding to take it over there.
Yeah, so disappointing pull for Gaja. I have to say the pulls have been fairly accurate this game so far. No wind and no rain at the moment to speak of, so very familiar conditions here.
Looks like it's going to be way beyond the halfway mark. And that's the reason why they're marching it slowly there. Ong does. Ong looking. Lee, upline cut, is going to be all the way to the end zone for the score.
Most efficient offensive point yet. I think they took more time calling the line and then bringing the disc out from out of bounds. And that was a 1-throw score by the Disc Knights. I have to say I was very impressed because during that halftime huddle, they were certainly very vocal. The energy was up. You could sense that the players were up and about. Yes, they were down on the scoreboard and, you know, they've been scored against, but they've been making really good progress already in this half point by point. You know, initially the defense making grounds, and now the offense actually making steps to become more efficient, become more clean as well. So both lines really stepping up here.
Exactly there, that's correct. And it's happy to see this Knights responding with an energetic point. And that looks like on that point alone, looks like a simple upline drill for them where you just walk through that bit towards the space and then perfect pass there.
I think we highlighted, maybe it was in the first half, there were a couple of points when they made really good use of that around backhand break, and that was an around backhand break, right? Correct. Like it was the thrower who had the confidence to put it in space, so they knew that the defender was going to be, you know, have separation.
And here we go now. Manoharan gives it to his teammate, looking, dumps it back to Chi. Gets it back here, Ang does. Quick movement from Gaja, not giving this Knights any time to make a defensive bid. Great movement side to side for Gaja. Looking. Quick dump. Chi, oh, great forward pass to Manoharan. Manoharan's looking. Opts to swing it down the middle. He gets it back here. Manoharan fakes that backhand. A little bit miscue there, but able to get it through.
Really nice containment defense by the Disc Knight defenders. They're doing lots of shoulder checking. Is a continuation coming? Do I need to protect that, or can I actually just get straight on the mark? Very impressive driving. Gaja to go side to side. Oh, there's a bid. That's going to open things up.
And just when I was saying that the handler movements are taking too much time, but just like that, but looks like a pick is being called. Why this Knight player stopped?
It was so interesting, I think, with the Disc Knight defense. They were going for more of that containment, conservative, happy to let you swing it back, you know, side to side. And then, you know, they go for a big bid and an outright block, and unfortunately exposes.
And here's Arvin. Oh, punches it through quickly. No hesitations for the score. And that was Lee, his first goal in this game.
So, start the second half. We've got holds at the moment. Very clean ultimate. A joy to watch.
This second half so far, yes, clean ultimate. A very clinical ultimate for both teams in that matter. But right now, 5-point lead being enjoyed for Gaja. As we look at the replay, that quick pass by Arvin.
Yeah, lovely inside channel there, utilized well. I think the trick there was that the stack was actually set up slightly to the side, which opened up that channel. So very smart positioning by the vertical stack for Gaja. And that brings up Arvin Ravichandra's second assist of the game. So certainly doing really well with disc in hand.
You can see there in the video, Sam E crossing across the field. Spoke him momentarily at halftime, saying what were some of the adjustments they were doing. He's saying in the offensive side, they're playing as clean as they want, but they felt that they can do a lot more safer passes as they go through. And then on the defensive side, they just really up the intensity so far. And it looks like it's showing here as well. And we'll see how this Knights respond. Here's that backhand loopy pass that we were talking about. Oh, what a laser backhand forehand throw. And as he said, Hawk to the end zone is denied.
What a block. That was well read. Way to get up high.
And that was Rajendran able to read it and pluck it out for a defensive play. He gets the disc back, Rajendran.
And this was the increase in the defensive intensity that Sam E was asking for at halftime.
Right on cue for full display from Gaja. Is Rajendran. Tapping that sideline now, but great upline cut from his handlers. Great movement so far. Small ball and lays out. Just not able to secure it. Number 87 does.
Asking way too much of the receiver. So the defensive intensity has gone up, but the offensive composure to convert that, not quite yet.
Exactly. Here's this Knights, another opportunity. Not a lot of movements, but forced to be swung to the middle now.
Timeout called.
It looks like a timeout's going to be called, rightfully so, as both teams are feeling the fatigue. So, timeout here for this night to see to regroup and see what they can set up.
Yeah, I think that's a good call there. You know, not the best field position, but you know, this point there's been one turnover each. They really need to try and score this offensive hold to keep in touch.
And we'll see. And we'll see how it goes. It will take a short break here in Field 1, live from Kamisu City. We'll be back and take a short break. And we're back here as we took a break, as this Knights called a timeout there just to really regroup and see if they can get this score.
Do you want to hear a stat, John?
Sure.
In this whole game, each team have only ever turned it once in that point.
Interesting stat there.
Yeah. So either it's been like, you know, a clean hold or a clean break, but even the points where, you know, it was a dirty hold, I guess, it meant that, you know, both sides only had one turnover each. So, I mean, yes, there's been turnovers, but the fact that there haven't been those grindy multi-turnover points, I think, is a little bit reflective of the conditions, right? In terms of it's still no longer raining, you know, very crafty throwers, but yeah. I don't know. We'll see if someone can really increase this defensive pressure.
There's that backhand loopy pass that's been working well for this night. It's becoming a pattern so far. I can see, and here's Lee. Oh, and stall count is rising. Had to hook it there. A couple of players. And again, amazing height to leap for the Gaja player.
And there is a call on field. So Again, very nice block there. That was by Rajendran again. And if that block stands, that will be the first time that Disc Knights have turned the disc over twice in a point.
Amazing leaping ability. We got a couple of players from Gaja really having that nice leaping ability. Yes, that was Rajendran again.
It's always so hard, isn't it? After
a couple of players, some collision there. Looks like everyone's gonna dust it off, and looks like everyone's okay. Accepted foul at that. Great spirit between the Gaja and Disc Knight players there. Here's number 94, Kong. Send it to the other side to his teammates. So far, they're trapped. And they're attacking Enzo in a couple of turnovers now. Second for Gaja at this point alone. And here's Lim. Lim, couple of players open momentarily. He was not being marked, but now Gaja slowly marching towards the marking of the handlers. Quick movement between Disc Knights. Oh, it's not a lot of movements. Just unable to initiate and looking that loopy pass again. And here is Ong. Ong, again with that throw and able to punch it in.
That was a dirty, dirty hold there by Disc Knights. But again, showing their prowess on that around backhand break. Couple of times that has got them out of trouble. Really opening up the space, forcing defenders to move. I don't know. I think Gaja are going to have to make some kind of defensive adjustment, you know, force a no around or something like that, because they're just getting killed by these backhand breaks.
Correct, exactly. That's a great observation there. And it's becoming, as I mentioned, becoming a patent play so far, pass rather from Gaja. See, look at those pass. Look at the replay rather. Just like that, just simple.
It's just that very, like, quick step out and immediate throw, right? So they kind of got it in a neutral position, and then you take one big pivot step. But the speed of the release of that backhand, I mean, and the thing is, it's multiple players on the roster that have done that. You know, it's not the one person with the only ability to break. I mean, I feel like this is a real key to Disc Knights making, you know, some gains and chipping away at the lead of this Gaja team.
Let's see how the defense goes for Disc Knights. See if they're gonna force in again, right? We've been seeing that a lot, and they're getting some little success there when they're forcing Gaja in. And here's Low. Low gets it, gives it to Chin, gets it back here. Gaja moving it side to side. Oh, good inside cut made by his teammate. Good movement here so far from the open side. And Gaja making easy work so far, just right at the edge of the end zone. And great patience to not force the issue here. Trying to keep in mind of making a safe play. Just like that, a break side pass complete. And they get it to go for their 11th score.
So after the first multi-point turnover, Gaja polished things off with a lovely, clean hold. Disc Knights doing well to keep things stalled momentarily, but ultimately the upfield work of the cutters, getting free on the open side, finishing off with a couple of nice inside flick breaks. So interesting, Disc Knights going for the around backhand break, Gaja kind of favoring the inside flick break.
And that was Prem Manoharan with his first goal in this game. As you look at the patient movement from Gaja, and you can see the frustration from the Disc Knights defender and how easy that point was.
Yeah, and it's tricky, right? Like, no wind, no rain. Do you try put out a zone on defense just to try and slow things down? I think they're doing well to slow things down on match defense, but, you know, expecting or trying to get Gaja.
Some confusion there, but able to keep it alive. But some smiles at least, but that was almost a costly turnover right there. And there again is that loopy backhand to the break side. Gaja's got to do something about that.
There's a call on field. related to the mark, I believe.
It's amazing tip of the
Yeah,
disc there. Deflection of the disc towards his teammate.
Yeah, the first intended receiver bid for the disc. It was a slight overthrow, bid for the disc, deflected it, and the scraps by the second dump option, managing to scoop it up off the ground. Fantastic play by Disc Knights.
Great save of a garbage play on that.
Sweeping up all the trash as we have quite an extended conversation here about the mark, and I don't know if it's about the disc space, but Ben, the game advisor there, present and available.
Yeah, it's taken a long time for this, quite actually, right? I mean, really curious what to have a conversation. Let's look at that replay again there. It looks like if you're going to ask them, oh, it's by design.
Just an assist there. Not going to get a catch on the stat board there.
And here we go quickly. Moved forward by Disc Knights. This is Ong. Ong swings it to his teammates and gets it back quickly on the open side, on the far right side.
So this match defense, it looks like they're switching it and forcing middle. You can hear the sideline communication telling to force home and then force away, making sure that all the defenders are on the same page with the switching force.
And here we go. I think this is Ong with the disc. And there goes that backhand pass, beautifully put for the Disc Knights 7th score.
We bring up a scoreline of 7-11. Who's in line at the company for dinner?
So far, it's Disc Knights with that beautiful, delicious pass.
Oishi indeed.
Oishi indeed.
And again, around backhand break. This night, I'm sorry, Gaja haven't managed to stop it. And interesting that they brought out the forced middle tactic. Although I think the mark just didn't come around enough, right? Like, if you're going to stop that around backhand break, you need to really contain. Not sure if we can see here in the vision, but you see mark comes around. But I think they were shading a little bit too much on the inside. And so just a bit of execution, I think, in terms of the positioning of the mark. A small adjustment there could have really forced a different look and forced the disc back middle.
And so far, it's been an even match, at least for the second half, right? Just trading baskets or, points so far. But again, if you're Disc Knights, you can't afford that right now. You're in a hole, so you got to generate some turnovers and convert them quickly as possible, right?
Yeah, like we said, they've managed to create opportunities, but just not able to convert. And again, they've gone out with this quite, I guess, saggy containment zone, wanting Gaja to make an error. I don't know. I feel like they've got to play something a little bit more aggressive, like
Correct.
You say, to force
exactly.
the matter.
Yep. I think it's more of how you can attack those handlers and trap them in one side would be much more different look rather than just letting the Gaja handlers comfortably swing it from side to side, right?
Yeah, I think like even if you did a forced middle zone or something, that means you're forcing the disc to go in the middle, and then you've got your second layer of defense to try to get a block or force, a high pressure throw or force.
Ooh, and a cheeky pass there in the middle breaks the zone quickly, and another one at that. Clinical passes brought out by Gaja. They're making quick work against this Knight's zone defense or lack thereof.
I don't know about sticking with the zone all the way to the end.
A little bit ambitious there to be able to jump into the end zone. Oh, enough. And again, trying to put it in. Just a little in short, and again as well, it looks like they're able to put it in finally. Bunny hops and all.
Yeah, it took about 3 bunny hops. Third one successful, but I don't know. I'm not sure that was the best strategic adjustment here for Disc Knights. I think, containment zone, not really the best option. You need to put the other team under pressure, so you need to play a more aggressive zone or aggressive match. And then opting to hold the zone until the end, when you're containing and there's literally like a meter and they can jump it in, yeah, I don't think that's the right option.
Yeah, and I think that's a great, as we look at the replay of that, not sure if we're going to be able to see those bunny hops. There's bunny hop number 1. And there's bunny hop number 2. And probably we're going to see bunny hop number 3 in a short. But again, going back to your point with Disc Knights, you got to do something really aggressive there, right? I think force it to one side and trap it there just to make the handlers make a hard decision, a hard pass,
Yeah,
right?
either force side or force middle.
Correct.
And be aggressive and trying to, that second wall trying to really bite and poach and force a turn in that middle space in front of the disc.
Let's see how it goes at Gaja this night again. Can trade baskets. Gotta make, let's see if they can make a clean hold. Great pass down the middle for Disc Nikes. Ups it down the middle here to Lim. Lim. Oh, great grab to keep that disc alive. He will get it back. Lim does. Lim.
Oh, there was no continuation. I really wanted that hut to go off because there was no deep defender. Defenders were all trailing under.
Oh, and a cheeky pass there. Whoa, full layout extension complete. And he gets it to go.
Oof, and that was not the way I thought Disc Knights were going to score that goal, but they made it work. Finding those tiny little channels, that leading pass into space, saying, hey, mate, go get it. And get it, they did. Like you say, that was a nice, efficient point by Disc Knights, but they got to get to work on D.
And that was Lee again, number 33. I believe that will be his second or third assist now in this game.
Proving to be a very dependable player for the Disc Knights.
And had to make a full layout extension to keep that alive, as you can quickly see here in the amazing replay by our cameramen and women holding down the fort for the Volunteers. Oh, just a cheeky pass there.
Yeah, and Min Jun Lee, one of the captains of this Disc Knight team, certainly leading the charge alongside Ziyang Chua. And so Min Jun Lee looking the goods here on this O-line. Let's see what the D-line can do. Are we going to see another zone, maybe a match? Either way, something a bit more aggressive to force the issue from Gaja.
Correct. And this will be number 25, Hong Hei Chua.
It's a nice pull. They're trying to pin them to the sideline. Is it going to stay in? Oh, that is a very well-placed pull, John.
Exactly right there. And it looks like someone's streaking deep from Gaja, but looks like it's going to be waved off. Opted to have an inside. It was the same player, almost a D for a run through, but amazing hands from the Gaja player, Salim. Chi is looking. Sends it over. Almost a D there, but sticky hands from Low.
I like this aggressive defense. This is the way to go, John.
Yep. Low gets it back, and Chi sends it over to Low. Quick movements between these two players now. And we're seeing the intensity from the Disc Knights here. Seeing some rattling Gaja as we speak so far. This is the most I've seen them a little rattled.
Yeah, they finally get a bit of a gainer, but honestly, it's just the two handlers working through Kenneth, Su.
And here's number 24, Ang. Ang looking. Swings it down to Low. Low. Again, this is a patient disc movement again from Gaja on display. Ang gives it to Salim. Oh, that's Ravin Chandar with the score. And just patient. You see gasping for air. That was the most... I see them being pushed.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I agree, John. I feel like all the other offensive points, they've looked really in control, composed, they can do whatever they want. But this one, they looked a bit more frazzled. And I think, some of the earlier bids, I know the defense didn't actually get the outright block, but they were right on their shoulder. They were right next to the reception of the disc. And I think that was enough to kind of knock the confidence off of the Gaja offense a little bit, just enough to make them second guess a couple of those options that they would have taken earlier in this match.
But great response nonetheless, able to punch it through for the score. As you can see there, Gaja, just having a little interview in the halftime. Just curious, we were both curious what Gaja means. Apparently, it's a Malaysian word for elephant, and it looks like it's a good call from their Singaporean hawker center culture, where if you wanted an upsized drink, they would call it elephant or Gaja.
Gaja. Yeah, so we know Singapore melting pot. I think Gaja with some Malay roots. And definitely, if they can put this game away, they'll be Gaja their beers for tonight, I'm sure.
Great way to put it there. And asking some teammates, not sure if it's a running joke or if it is indeed, but happy birthday to Sam E, who is, as one of the players say, 70 years old. But I know his age is 69. But no, he's 39 yards. But if it's his birthday, happy birthday to Sam. But here, a quick hook for, and he gets it to go!
What a layer! Incredible grab, just trailing away, full extension, full slide on the turf. What a score by the Disc Knights. That was Aloysius Ko with the score.
Amazing full-out extension. And you can sense a little bit of momentum and motivation from the Disc Knights, looking for any kind of motivation as we get a chance to see that lovely hawk.
That was by Clinton Lim. Just put it out on a platter. Oh, what a bid there by Ko.
And it's Ko again. Ko having those amazing three-point plays so far for Disc Knights.
That is, in fact, his 4th goal of the game. So lining up on the stat board, lining up his team. And do you know what? Like you say, I don't know, momentum. I'd call it maybe some swagger, you know, that confidence, right? To be like, hey, we got this. And sometimes some inspirational play after, you know, grinding away, slowly chipping away, slowly building up in this game. This might be that extra spark that Disc Knights need.
I can see Tahar as part of that D-line of Disc Knights, try to settle down the folks if they're able to turn it over. Force the turnover, rather.
Yeah, they've gone for this containment zone. I liked that look on their previous G point where they went for an aggressive match. They actually forced Gaja. Oh, and now...
Oh, it's just almost there. Thought it was going to be a turnover, but instead, number 17 brings it down. Jordan Lee for the score.
Oh, that was very, very close. I know I kind of gave a bit of criticism on that containment zone initially. They did force a opportunity. The player unfortunately went up a little bit too early, maybe ran a little bit under the disc, and Gaja able to complete that score for a hold. As you see, this high release backhand here, oh, just a little bit too early. Arvin grabs it down, has the player in lead going for gold. And that is 14-9, and it will be game point for Gaja. In fact, after that multi-turnover point, there's been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 clean holds in a row. So both teams' offense lines absolutely ticking away. Ticking away
indeed, but yeah, you'd like to think at least Disc Knights just stick with that match person defense. That was the most that we've, as we mentioned earlier, right? Where you saw Gaja a little flustered, but I mean, it looks like it was their strategic that they really want to go back, switch up the defense here. And here's Disc Knights. And this is Lee. Moves it to the other side. Swing. Forehand pass is complete.
You can hear the volume from the sidelines, increasing intensity. Gaja really want this block.
Ooh. And I think it's more of like how they can end this game on a defensive point.
Yep.
And there's a foul there, and that was number 83, Kai J. Yao.
I mean, it's been a long time since we've had a break. The last break was 5-1. It's been holds, a few dirty, but a lot of clean ones, like we said, the last 7 points.
Stall count is rising, but here we go. That loopy backhand to the other side. And again, twice in a row. And then 3 times the charm. This night gets their 10th point.
That is clean hold number 8 in a row. So both teams looking the goods. Loving these close-up shots from our volunteers hard at work, running onto the pitch to capture the smiles and the joy of playing Ultimate in lovely Kamisu, Ibaraki, Japan.
And that was Ko again, making a play for the Disc Knights. Keeping it alive, keeping the chances alive for Disc Knights.
As you said, Ko topping the stats board for Disc Knights with 5 goals in total. Min Jun Lee captaining the team, 3 assists and a goal. And then Ong also contributing plenty with his 4 assists. All right, so game point again. See if Gaja can stay calm and steady for this offensive point.
I'm interested to see what the Disc Knights will, it looks like you're going to stick to. Someone's going to streak deep here. It looks like Salim. Salim between his defender. Who's going to win it here comfortably? It looks like Salim seals it for the score. Or looks like not yet, just at the edge of the end zone now. Dumps it to his teammates and looks like finally a little anticlimactic, but Gaja gets the win.
Yeah, well done to Gaja. I like the fact that they opted for the match defense from Dis Knights, but in the end, I think just a little bit leaky on that deep cover, that Huck getting away, and we know that Gaja have been so good in the air, bringing down plenty of sky ball. In the end, I think they were always looking the goods in terms of being the team on top with those early breaks. Like I said, once the Dis Knights got going, they were trading holds for the rest of the game, but the damage was done when they went up to 5-1. It was pretty much game over. So Gaja winning the intercity battle here for the two Singaporean teams in the open division. A great way to finish the game. Dis Knights can hold their heads high, certainly finishing on a very solid game against a tough matchup assignment. But this certainly keeps Gaja's hopes alive for pushing through to the latter stages of this tournament.
It looks like they will, as they will finish rounded up for their open poll with a 2-1 record. It will put them as good as high as second place now. So there will be at least at the crossover games as the tournament progresses towards the third game. And an amazing match here between the Singaporean teams. And it looks like this will wrap it up for now. And thank you so much for joining in today's session. We look forward for you to join in the last few games in these last few days as we wrap up a high-intensity game between these two teams, right? And just looking how we can how C progresses as we go to the crossover games, for at least for the open division right there, Avril.
Yeah, day 1 and 2 has been an absolute delight to call. Day 1 and 2 have been an absolute delight to call. I think we've seen some fantastic plays, some amazing comebacks with some really spirited teams, right? And like you say, we're getting to the pointy eight. Some of these, standings in the pool are going to really count.
Correct.
And I'm so keen and excited to see tomorrow, 9 o'clock, we're back on the stream to see what we've got in store.
Exactly, and just really seeing like day 3 will be more in terms of who wants it more now, but we'll let that simmer now for day 2 and expect how things will play out in day 3. And we hope you guys enjoyed the stream. And my name is Jonathan, and joined here is Avril Tam. Thank you so much, and we'll see you back here tomorrow in Kamisu City for the Asia Oceanic Championships of 2025.
Nice work.